You see, this is how crazy Warner Brothers is on YouTube. If I say post a Star Wars Episode 7 trailer review, commentary, reaction, with the whole trailer, no one bats an eye, because it's all part of the plan. But if I post one little trailer for Batman v Superman, well, then everyone loses their minds.
In all seriousness, Warner Brothers, that's not how you drum up excitement for your film. I was already sceptical about you being stingy with your footage, as people will see in this amended video coming up now. You don't seem all that confident about what it is that you've produced. And, I don't know, flagging a small portion of someone's screen for illustrating a commentary or even a review on a trailer is pretty bad. So either you're, not very confident, or part of Warner Brothers is doing the wrong thing. But seriously, you need to get with the times. Marketing today involves allowing people to review and share and actually get excited, dare I say, about your footage, not hiding it from people. Anyway, with that in mind, do enjoy the rest of the video.
Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now this is something of an unexpected episode, certainly for me. This is actually a response to several messages I've been receiving on the YouTube channel. I'm really excited about this, but I just wasn't expecting it. But it's actually a follow-on from the Star Wars Episode 7 reaction video that I did a couple of days ago. And sort of like a prompt, a call to action, a question mark that's hovering over me, and that is, why haven't I done a similar reaction video to the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice trailer that came out more or less at the same time? Well, you're right. Those of you who've been messaging me, yes, I am a huge Batman fan. I do also like Superman. I'm not as big a Superman fan, but I do also like Superman. But there's a very good reason why I didn't record my initial reaction to that trailer, and that's because I didn't like it. I'm sorry to say. Not that I didn't hate it, don't get me wrong, it's not that I hated it, but it's just not, I've got a bit of a bad feeling about it, it's not quite sitting right with me. It may well be an awesome film, and it may well be that they're actually, well, I'll come back to that in a moment. First of all, the goods, the pros, the positives. I absolutely love the way the film is looking. I like, for example, the design of Batman's costume, his regular costume, the beat-up, sort of scarred Batman who's well into his career. Brilliant, really, really muscly Ben Affleck, wonderful. The Ben Affleck chin seems to work. And also, I quite like the robotic suit that they've given him when he wants to face up to Superman. The whole sort of on the rooftop with the glowing eyes. Brilliant, love it. I like Superman's design. I think the changes that they've made to the costume fairly subtle but important, and that they've solidified that character. They've gone closer to the iconic look, for example, of Superman. So I think it's looking good. The dark tone, well, I can take or leave it, but I suppose they're trying to differentiate themselves from Marvel. So again, I can get on board with that. But what I don't like is the way that they're set. The trailer seems to be setting up a sort of a injustice gods amongst us sort of perspective on Superman. Him being some sort of despot who's some sort of benevolent dictator who seems to have his own army, his own military force, who are bowing to him in the trailer. And I can see why that would get on Batman's nerves, but that at best is an Elseworld story, if that's what they're doing. That shouldn't be central canon, should it? I mean, the Superman that they set up with Henry Cavill in the previous film was interesting. He had a bit of a gritty edge to him. I mean, arguably they copied a little bit off Batman Begins, but also as well he had the wholesomeness of of Superman that we expect. He had that sort of Christopher Reeve, that's all American good guy kind of feel to him, which we want from Superman. And if they've gone down the route of him being twisted, I'm not really sure about that. Now, coming back to the point I almost made at the beginning of the video, that's when I stopped myself there. Perhaps I can see that maybe what they're doing is they're playing on the Lex Luthor part of the story, where Lex in this particular continuity is going to be like a social media magnate who's turning the world maybe against Superman, maybe against superheroes, who's twisting the perception of Superman, and perhaps this trailer is actually part of that marketing marketing machine. Perhaps actually what they're doing is they're using the trailer to sort of illustrate Luthor's effect on people. Maybe the fact that we're going, oh, Superman looks a bit dodgy. Perhaps that's the point. That may be precisely the point, that maybe actually the trailer's been put together by Lex and has been put out here for us to see and us to judge Superman harshly and to root for Batman. Now, as much as I'm a Batman fan, I'm not I don't, for example, believe that in actual canon Superman should be beaten by Batman. I believe actually Superman should reasonably beat Batman in a fight if they both have equal prep time and all the rest of it. If you want to see more, go and see Angry Joe's video on the topic. I completely agree with him on that. So this need to root for Batman, I can see why, because Batman is a human being. We're human beings, and maybe we're being encouraged to embrace Batman because of that. But this isn't really rooting for Batman. This is rooting against Superman. Again, it seems like a very negative trailer, as though possibly Superman set himself up as a god, or maybe he's gone along on a wave of gratitude, which has led him to sort of demigod status, and some people are reacting against that. And again, I'm not sure about it. I'm just not sure. And if this is the grand movie, which is meant to get DC not caught up with Marvel, you can't catch up with 2 phases of films, but certainly some way down the track, maybe a couple of films worth in terms of catching up with Marvel. This is the grand plan. I can't help but think that they need to do something, yes, different from Marvel, maybe darker in tone. Yeah, okay, sure. But they need to do something which people can identify with, and which people can recognise as those characters which we know and love. I mean, the number of people who grew up watching, for example, the old Superman, Christopher Reeve, and loving those films and loving his goodness, may be really turned off by this trailer. And so that's the reason why I haven't commented on it, folks, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I think about it. I think it has promise, I think it looks good, but the fact that they keep on being stingy with the footage as well, that really concerns me. For example, in the IMAX release of this trailer, there's an extra scene apparently at the end where the 2 characters rush each other, into the fight, and then Superman, Batman kind of thing. In Comic-Con, famously, they had the scene with them on the rooftop. Batman hits the bat signal, lights Superman up, Superman's eyes glow red, like 20-30 seconds of footage, which they didn't release outside that room, at least not officially. And again, why are they being so stingy with the footage? I mean, I know maybe they're trying to drip feed it and get people ravenously hungry for it, but in my experience, that's not how you do ravenous hunger, and that's not how you get people to be wanting more. Star Wars Episode 7, that is how you do a trailer. You don't show people everything. You show them just enough to want more, and then you show them a little bit more, and then you show them a little bit more. Whereas with Batman v Superman, it looks as though maybe they're just not confident in what they're producing, and that's why they keep on just sort of drip feeding it and keeping bits back and separating it out and making it so that not everyone can actually see everything and have the same experience, and therefore compare opinions and experiences. It seems a little bit ineffective, I suppose that's what I'd say. Anyway, I don't often talk about my worries when it comes to especially superhero films, but I'm a little bit concerned because I love these characters, I love their legacy, and I really do actually want to see this DC universe succeed. And at the moment, it feels like, I don't know, if they get too close to Watchmen, for example, which is another Schneider film, obviously, then maybe it's a wrong step, maybe it's a misstep. Don't get me wrong, I don't want a kiddies film, but I want something which isn't that. I don't want Injustice. I want Superman to be Superman. Anyway, hopefully that's answered your questions, those of you who messaged, and hopefully I haven't disappointed you with my lack of mega enthusiasm. Believe me, I am enthusiastic. I am looking forward to watching that film. But I just didn't want to share my initial thoughts when I first saw the trailer, because I thought, I don't know, I'm really not sure what to make of that. But as I say, hopefully this has answered those questions. As ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.